Well, howdy, Nearly Senior Citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day, and me waving my hands around in the air like I just don't care. I do that. Thumbs up. Welcome to the day. There is a little bit of frozen stuff still outside. It has been raining. It has been raining every single day for months now, except when it was snowing. During the time that it snowed, we had some of the few times that it hasn't rained. There were days that it was actually dry, but it would only last a day, and then, the next day it'd be snowing and slushing and stuff again. So it's been cold and wet and horrific and just like the way it used to be. So who knows what's going to happen for the future. I mean, not good things. Climate change is happening. It's happening fast, and it's not good. So, yay. But, life is life, and rain is good. You need rain. That's a very important thing. We need water. Flooding in our area, Pacific Northwest, the entire western half of Washington state has just been flooding for months. And of course, to front load the video, hey, of course, if you could toss me a like if you like what you see in here, that'd be awesome. If you could subscribe to the channel if you like what you see in here, that too would be cool. I love comments. I do my best to push through my executive dysfunction and answer as many as I can. If you could leave me a comment, that'd be very awesome. I also appreciate all of these Patreon patrons of mine. They literally help to keep me alive, and I appreciate that to no end. I enjoy metabolizing. Metabolizing is a good thing. And these people literally help, excuse me, to keep me metabolizing. And I appreciate that to no end. So thumbs up and thank you each and every one of these people. If you'd like to become a Patreon patron and help keep me alive, I do have links in the show more. So for the video, thumbs up and thank you. Yay, front loading of the video over. Thank you, YouTube. Anyway, though, yeah, it's nice and cold and wet, and I didn't do much yesterday because I had therapy. And so that always dredges stuff up, and it's not a bad thing. I mean, that's just life. You talk about stuff, things get dragged up, and so it takes a day for things to settle back down. At the same time, I saw a demo for a cool game called Cultic, a retro boomer shooter, and so I downloaded the demo and had to do a let's play on that. I've been thinking of just putting stuff onto the game channel and mirroring it here because I don't want the game channel to just die again. So who knows? We'll see what happens. Still cool stuff, and if you like retro boomer shooters, hey, look up Cultic. It's to be announced. It's just a demo right now, but it's very cool. Definitely a thumbs up on that. Unfortunately, I also spent the time falling asleep yesterday, so yay on that. That's one of the main reasons that I felt that I needed to record something after I saw the Cultic thing. I was just sitting here and falling asleep because of stuff, so need to stay active. Oy vey. Past that, just survived, and that's good. Finally started to make phone calls and did it so late in the day that all of the agencies were closed. So starting earlier this morning, about 9 or 10 o'clock a.m. Pacific Standard Time, I'm going to be making some phone calls. Finally. Oh, as I told my therapist yesterday, this entire holiday season, I have just been turtling in survival mode. Now that the holidays are over, I've been feeling better. I would have made those phone calls yesterday if the agencies had been open. So yeah, I'm feeling better. Things are getting done. I'm going to make those calls today, at least one, and that's a good thing. Yay. But past that, just went out walkies in the rain, and that's always fun. Even my hiking boots get soaked, so my feet are wet no matter what. Yay. But still, it's good to go out walking, and I enjoy walking even when it's cold and wet, and thumbs up for that. I've done thinking about this, that, and the other, and I've done a lot, of course, of creative writing and thinking talk. Well, thinking, and then I would like to talk about that, because one of the things that also happens in therapy, sometimes therapy is just a conversation. Just to talk about things, because you don't get that normally in life if you need that sort of therapy. And just having a nice, pleasant conversation can be a good thing. So I spent a lot of time talking about the various things going on with this setting, because it is important to me. It fits together perfectly for me, and I love that. And so it's very important. It is the most best thing I've ever worked on, ever. And so, cool. And so I told him about this, that, and the other, and I mentioned how, there's my symbolism that I don't consciously control, and how, there's the ghosts in the cryptid part of the whole inside-outside razor's edge, and I told him about that and how heavy-handed my symbolism was, because it's intensely heavy-handed. The character is a ghost, doesn't know exactly who he is, and so his friend is telling him, you are who you are. You get to choose who you are. No one else can tell you who you are and what you are. Only you know what you are. You get to choose who you want to be, and whatever you choose is valid. So that's kind of heavy-handed symbolism, but it's still true. And then talking about the various other characters and things and situations. One of the things I do want to stress, and here we've gone full into the world building stuff, because aside from therapy and falling asleep and going walkies, which I've all talked about now, that's all that really happened yesterday. So really there's not a ton of stuff I can talk about except for videos that I watched, and I don't really want to talk about things like NFTs. I resent current events for sometimes forcing me to talk about them. So I'm just going to do some more world building talk about various things. There is the Apple Rock Kaiju, and I think it is absolutely amazing how I came up with just, the creative process. And it's not that I'm going, hey, look how creative I am. It's a creative process for anyone. But I'm me, and this is mine, so I'm talking about it. I don't know how the creative process works for anyone else. When I was just trying to come up with some names, came up with the name of the place, Apple Rock. And then why was it that? It became this beast thing. And then the beast thing became this rampager. And then it became more powerful. And then now it's like, as I was telling my therapist, the best way to imagine, because I understand why the Apple Rock Kaiju acts the way it does. I hate this creature as a person. As a writer, I think it's awesome. But as a person, I both understand why the Apple Rock Kaiju acts the way it does, and I hate the Apple Rock Kaiju for acting the way it does. I posit that this thing, there being just this infinite possibility and potential in this energy that they had existed in between the inside and the outside. This is an infinite energy, but because it is a static buildup, it is ultimately destructive as well. Imagine being the kind of person that lives in this universe that we can't even imagine, because you're a discrete individual and you are every other living creature in this universe. You live in one distinct spot, but you also are in every place within this universe. You are a discrete being, but you're everyone. Time is in discrete moments, but there is no past, present, or future. It is all an infinite now. So these individuals live in this bizarre universe that we can't understand, but makes perfect sense to them relative to them. And then you're one of these beings in there, and then all of a sudden, one day, in a 5-minute span, and their reality has broken down so far that you can even make that sentence. Because before that you couldn't even say, all of a sudden. There was no such even concept. One day, everything is an infinite now. A 5-minute span, there is no limit. But all of these things suddenly become true. Their reality has broken down to the point underneath they're even noticing that these concepts suddenly are real. But in that 5-minute period, suddenly every living thing in this universe begins to scream in agony and terror, because over a 5-minute period, every living thing in this universe except for you burns to death. And you feel it all, because you are a discrete being, but you're also every single other being in this universe. And in the span of 5 minutes, everything in this universe burns to death except for you. And in the remaining 5 minutes, every single other thing in this universe burns, leaving you standing in an infinite plane of nothingness except for the ankle-deep ashes of the universe. All the people, all of the things, all of your hopes, all of your dreams burned to ashes, and you're standing in the middle of it. And then, after about 15 seconds, all of these ashes begin to move. And in the span of 5 minutes, form themselves into a cruel farce, a parody of the existence that you had lived in. And then in the next 5 minutes, life appears all over it, vegetable, insect, mammalian. And you are an existence that was effectively as large as the Milky Way galaxy, and you are smashed into a box about the size of a kilometer on each side. And it hurts, and it's claustrophobic, and you are surrounded by just this farce, this parody of the universe you used to live in. And you're the Apple Rock Kaiju, forced to look at the ashes of everything you had known, formed into a cruel farce of an existence around you. I understand why the Apple Rock Kaiju is not a nice individual. At the same time, it is much more of a bastard than it needs to be. It felt a great hunger. It tried eating some things. Rocks didn't work. Radioactives don't work. Trees don't work. Other animals don't work. It's starting to get desperate after a period of time. And then these weird two-legged, bipeds show up. Out of desperation, it eats one of them. And that hits the spot. And so it just eats as many human beings as it can find at that period to quench this burning hunger inside of it, and then it rests. And that's how it all starts, with the Apple Rock Kaiju in the exact center of the razor's edge in the middle of all of this. Of course, it quickly learns that going dormant, hibernating, frees up its mind, and while its body slows down. And it learns quite quickly the reach of its influence. It can reach and influence everything over the entire razor's edge. And its reach, it discovers, extends even further, because on the inside, after this attack where 12,000 people are eaten in Apple Rock, the King in Crimson on the inside is checking video records and checking its own memory, and it sees where it has been manipulated. During one of the latest things where they had decided to put in the booster repeater for communications in Apple Rock instead of over in Tenasket Valley. And the thing is, the video records show as this is happening, Tenasket Valley should have been the good idea, but the King in Crimson vetoed that and said, let's put it in Apple Rock instead. Usually when this happens, they make a decision, they'll tell, everybody chimes in, they get input, they make a decision. This was a decision made, oddly, especially since the King in Crimson is very expressive, and behind their mask, their face is always moving in exaggerated facial expressions. During this time, it's just flat affect. Oh no, I think instead we should choose Apple Rock, effectively. Not acting like they would. Nobody there acts the way they would. And so they put the repeater in Apple Rock, where it can be destroyed. And the thing is, looking at those video records, it is obvious that the King in Crimson has been manipulated. Everyone there can see that they've all been manipulated. And it's heavy-handed. It's obvious. But looking back through their actual memory, they can see and pin their memories to what they're seeing in the video. And every decision made, no matter what they see in the video, still feels like an organic decision that they made naturally. Heavy-handed and obvious, but they still can't even find the touch that forced them to do that. It's not heavy-handed. The Apple Rock Kaiju let them know they were being manipulated. The Apple Rock Kaiju is a bastard. And I'll go into more of that on another day. But I have opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab, and I'm going to go through and thank however many people have left me comments. It's not many, but anything more than 0 is awesome. Thumbs up and thank you so much. You get me out of my head and dealing with people, and that's a definite thumbs up. If I mispronounce the user brain, your user brain. If I mispronounce the username, my sincere apologies. I'm an American English speaker, and even though I count American Sign Language on the fingers of this hand with my depression, fibro, ADHD, all sorts of issues, my memory just blows. It's getting better, but I'm going to hit a functional limit one day. Especially since now that I'm taking ADHD meds, cannabis for pain does seem to affect me more up here, so thumbs up for that. But we have BXNIO, thumbs up and thank you. There is Travis Frost, greatly appreciated. Space Vatnik, thumbs up and thank you. The only person that left a comment on my cultic video, thumbs up and thank you. There's Samian, S-A-M-I-A-N, thumbs up and thank you. Mean Kindness, greatly appreciated. Marie Tonya, thumbs up and thank you. We have Yuki Likes Hot Potatoes, the great best kind of potato, and thank you very, very much. Craig YAC, hi. We have Mountain TA and a whole bunch of vowels, I can't speak English today properly. Thumbs up and thank you very much, good to see you. Pancake Cookie, thank goodness it's warming up here. It's too warm now, but oh boy, cold, ick. Here's hoping it gets better for you. Larry from Space, good to see you in the comments as well. Ben B, thumbs up and thank you. And then Noah Genevieve Brown, who, son of a gun, I did pronounce it properly. Thumbs up and thank you so very, very much. Favel, good to see you in the comments. It's been a time. Hopefully you can get less busy for your own sake. Santana Garcia, thumbs up and thank you. And I think there's just Stanky Mans. And I think I can't remember how many people that is, but it's thank you. Each and every one of you. See, I count and I still get lost. But thumbs up and thank you each and every one of you. As stated, you get me out of my head and into the world and dealing with real people, if only in text and only for a short time. But that is very cool. Thank you very, very much. It is appreciated to no end. And of course, I don't know what device you're watching this on, so I don't know where the show more is, but inside of that, I have links to each of my various channels. If you could check those out, that'd be very cool. I also have links to my Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and again, I want to thank each and every one of my Patreon patrons. These beautiful and awesome people are literally beautiful and awesome. Truly, it is. I am on disability. I cannot work. I broke my back working in healthcare. I didn't literally break my back, but I have so many back injuries, it is absolutely ridiculous. And without these people's help, I'd be hosed. The cost of living is far, far outpacing the how much money I get to live. So without these people, it would suck. So thank you each and every one of you. And of course, if you'd like to help me out without becoming a patron, there are links to a PayPal. I'm not above grubbing for your spare cash when you got next to nothing, anything else. And of course, there's links to various things in my Amazon wish list. Think cat food mostly. There's a squishy plushie in there. If someone could grab that for me, that'd be very awesome. Do not feel obligated. I do not feel entitled. And if you cannot or you do not donate, I do take all good wishes and I deposit them in the bank of my heart where I draw interest. So thank you very much. And of course, if you could toss me a like, I appreciate all the positive validation I get for my existence. And if you could hit the notification bell on the subscription button, that would be very, very cool. I still say seek creativity, positivity, and balance in your life, especially creativity. Your brain is literally use it or lose it. You increase your chances of dementia, that's the thing, if you are not using your brain. So keep using it and stay healthy. And speaking of staying healthy, with the covfefe bug and all of its variants out there, please practice as much safety as you can. Oh my God, you know what to do. Try to maintain as much social distancing as you can. Wear a mask. Wash your hands often. Try not to touch your face. Get vaxxed if you haven't. Get a booster if you can. Oh my God. I never thought I would see so many people in the world running towards something horrible while crying out that it's their right and all the rest of you just need to watch out for them as they get it and then die. So please, please, please. And until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side. And that is a very good thing.